Thank you, Rob. Yes, I have Michael Faulkner in studio today. He's with New Vision Group, and he does landscaping, he does construction. I'm excited to talk to him about all of the things that he does today. We're going to learn about his story and all the good things that he has to tell us. So, Michael, if you will introduce yourself and start with what made you get into this?
My name's Michael Faulkner, and I guess at a very young age, I started working somewhere around 13, 14 years old. I started cutting grass, and
Wow.
I've worked pretty much, my whole life growing up. And growing up, we would,
You're good.
I would cut grass. We would go out and, I'd have multiple jobs, and the more that I would work jobs, and I enjoyed every one that I did, it's just that I knew that that wasn't what I wanted. So I guess about 21 years ago, I started in the landscape industry.
Wow.
And I learned everything I could from running the loader, taught myself how to do that, taught myself about the grass, any books I could read, any educational things I could do, I would go out and do those and learn different things about plants, how plants would work in different areas, and and just enjoyed being outdoors. So wanted to be able to provide jobs for other guys, and I treat my guys like they're my family. So the same way I treat my family, I want to make sure their family's taken care of. So
That's awesome. So you said 21 years ago.
21 years ago.
So are you from this area?
I am. I'm from Nicholson.
Okay.
I grew up here. We moved away about 5 years and lived in Roswell, Georgia, and moved back
That was
to
a big
Banks
change.
County. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we was right on the Tennessee line there.
Wow.
So when we moved back, we lived in Banks County, grew up there. From that time on, grew up right around Jackson County.
So is the majority of your clientele here in Jackson County?
A
in Banks County?
majority of our clients are right around Commerce, Jefferson, Jackson County areas. We do go to Athens, and some of our referrals get a little further out toward Kennesaw, LaGrange, and stuff
Okay.
like that.
So you growing up here, you understand the needs of your clientele because you understand your clientele.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. So 21 years.
21 years.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Let's talk about starting out. Did you start working for someone else, or did you start your own business and just, go at it and build your business, add people as you went? How did that happen?
Well, me and my brother-in-law, let me back up. So I met my wife, and we've been married for 21 years.
Wow.
Fixing to be together for 25 years. So
Congratulations.
we met my brother-in-law in that time, and we started maintenance. We started on an old snapper lawnmower, and that's how we started. And that's how I got used to, cutting grass, learning customers, and getting used to their, attitudes, the good and the bad, what they wanted. And went from that to running a loader, having guys, helping me, working with them, and seeing their changes, seeing the different attitudes between the guys to make sure that I can understand them and what they needed and what motivated them. So,
Do you have children?
I do. I've got a 12-year-old little boy. He's his name's Dylan Faulkner.
Cool.
So he's in the 6th grade. He'll come out and run the excavator during the summer. And
That's awesome.
He learns, different things too.
So you understand what it's like to have a son and you understand what it's like to have that mutual respect, and therefore you understand what it's like to run a business and have employees
Yes, ma'am.
and treat them with the respect that you would expect from your son, but you would also give your son.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, moving kind of away from, how you got started and into what you do now, let's talk about your name, New Vision Group. Why did you choose that? He's giving me this grin. That can't be a good thing.
So we started the company back in '99,
Okay.
and we named that one. Well, when I left that company, I wanted a new outlook. I wanted to bring visions to other people's property, make them excited about what's going on. So when I left, the new vision just popped out to me, and I know it gets kind of confusing between that and eyeglasses, but new vision, and we put group at the end of it because we don't just do landscape. We can do a number of things. We don't advertise anything outside of that, but if the economy goes the wrong way, there's a number of other things that I grew up doing, in the construction industry, that we can go out and do.
That's awesome. So it's all underneath the umbrella of New
Yes,
Vision
ma'am.
Group. Okay. So you go out to your client's property, and you're bringing this new vision that they can't see. And in my business, I'm a photographer, so in my business I experience that too, because I see potential, and my clients don't always, they're not visual, so they can't see it. So I can relate to that. You almost have to put it down on pen and paper, and in your job you can do that, but for me I literally have to take your photo and show you. So I understand the aspect of having to show them something that's not yet been created, and you have that vision for them, but you're going out and you're dealing with them and you're talking to them and you're seeing the potential. Is that where you also incorporate the other things you do under that umbrella? It's not advertised, you said, but is that where you see, well, I can see you need this, so I also do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sometimes, when we go out and I look at a property, normally I'm looking at that property as it was my own, So if I see a problem, just say the customer wanted to fix a drainage issue, and they come at me with their ideas. Well, I assess that, and then if I don't think it's going to work for the long term, then I'll give them my ideas, and then if there's other things that are associated with that they may be missing or they're not looking at, once we finish, I don't want to go back unless they're calling me back to do something else. And that's probably where we stand out against a lot of our competitors, because we look for the long-term solutions to be done with the project. And then if they want something later on, we can fix it to where we can come back and do something on top of that, or we can do something in other areas. We want return customers. We don't go out and look for customers. Most of ours are referrals, and that's why.
That's wonderful. So my dad, he was a general contractor, and he used to say, if you do it right the first time,
That's right.
he would say, Katie, do it right the first time. Take your time. It's going to be a pain, but do it right the first time. But if you do it right the first time, then you won't have to go back and do it again.
That's
and you
right.
have twice the time wasted when you do that. So it sounds to me like you focus on quality, and you focus on doing it right the first time. And
Yes, ma'am.
you said most of your business is referrals, which means that your customers are, for the majority, satisfied.
Yeah, we probably, I haven't really had any unsatisfied customer.
Which is amazing.
And that's saying pretty good. So when we go back, it's to do something else.
You're building on the foundation that you did last time.
Right.
Okay, that's
Yes.
wonderful.
And our customer service is, all of my guys know that the customer, we take care of them. We talk to them when we go out there. We find out what they don't like, what they do like. On our maintenance side, on our install side, we're very particular about what we do. And when we do a job, I'm out there probably 80% of the time.
Wow.
On top of the other, I'm still pricing jobs, putting jobs together. So when we go home in the evening, I'm still putting stuff together. When you're not doing track building and stuff like that, you have to sell each job.
Wow.
Whereas if you're doing track building, hey, I've got 10 houses to do between now and next week. I got to get them done. It's not that way with me. I have to draw everything out, and put everything together, and meet with the customer and go over it with them, tell them how it's going to all go together, and show them where everything goes.
So when I reached out to you and asked you to come on the radio, you were hesitant, but then when I said, hey, what's your favorite part of your job? You said, I love talking to people. I love my customers. I love customer service. I love seeing their faces light up, when they see the finished product. So let's talk about that. The first time someone reaches out to you, do you do like a free estimate, or how does that work?
I meet with the customer, kind of find out what they're looking for, what they like, what colors they like. Then we'll walk around the property and talk a little bit about, what they want to do, and, if they're wanting patios, if they need retaining walls, if, what plants they may like, and we may pull up a few pictures and show some different pictures. And so once that's done, I'll put it together. I'll put an estimate together. I'll put a drawing together, and I'll send them pictures of plants and send them the estimate, and then we'll meet again.
Oh, okay.
We'll walk over the drawing, and I'll show them where everything goes. So, yeah, we do free estimates. I'll do the free drawing as long as they're committed. I don't ever send them the drawing. Just because I don't want them to take that drawing and install themselves, or then I've got a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
So
and wasted vision.
Right. Well, we're not. We are a little more expensive than some folks, but we take the extra time to make sure that we install correctly, and then when we leave, our customers happy.
That saying, you get what you pay for, that's never been truer.
Right.
So after they get that, and then you start moving forward, one of my friends, we have a mutual friend in common, Jennifer Stansel, she was bragging to me on you, about you the other day, and she was saying how down to earth and relatable you are, and she's like, in his industry, it's common, kind of like when you she's like, how it is to be a woman, and I know how it is to be a woman. You take your car to the car lot to get worked on, and they are like, oh, she doesn't know. So, I could say this and this and this, and she's just going to say, okay, if it needs it, do it, whether it needs it or not. And she's like, he doesn't speak to me like I'm a woman who doesn't know what I'm talking about when it comes to landscaping. He speaks to me just like he would my husband or any other man. Like, she's like, I can tell whenever we talk, we're on an equal playing field. And I appreciate that, knowing that, there's other business owners out there who are aware of that and who do talk to everybody the same. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, everybody's the same to me. I don't care who you are, what you look like. It doesn't matter. If I see something ain't going to work, whether it's the husband, wife, I'm going to tell you. If you disagree, we'll try it. And I have had to go back and change something out that the customer thought that would work, and just disagreed, and they'll call me back, even though it doesn't make them look good, but they knew that my way was right. So I don't treat anybody different. I enjoy people. I enjoy talking to people, and I enjoy, just like I said, seeing their face when it's all done. Female, male, it doesn't matter. So they're all the same to me.
It's nice to know that there's people out there like that because I have had some really crazy experiences with the car lots and construction. So
Well, we definitely don't want to take advantage of anybody.
absolutely,
I still got to sleep in Jackson County, so
right?
I don't want no enemies. So.
Don't need to sleep with one eye open.
Right.
And I guess that would make sense if the majority of your business is referrals, that
You know,
your customers are happy and satisfied and they want to send their friends to you.
Yeah.
Which, as a business owner, the majority of my business is referrals also. So to me, that's the biggest compliment when someone I know, and especially someone you respect, sends a friend your way. It's like there's no better compliment.
Yeah, we've started a referral program to our existing customers. We just started that last month, so we'll do 1% on a landscaping job.
Wow.
Whatever it costs, 1% or $100, whichever's higher, and then on our maintenance customers, we'll do like $25 referral. So
Wow.
it gives our existing customers a way to save some money, and then it also builds our industry too, our maintenance and our install.
Have you seen a boost in referrals since you did that? You said it's a
Well,
month.
it just started a month ago.
Okay.
So we've got 3 or 4. So,
I have been contemplating a referral,
Yeah.
like rewards program for my clients because I get a lot of referrals. So I'm curious to see. I'll have to touch back with you in about 6 months and see how that's going.
Yeah. Just let me know. We'll. I mean, it just keeps me a little more in contact with the customer, because when they refer, then I'll go out and give that referral to them, or I'll give that cash to them, or if they want to credit it on their account, whatever they want to do.
Nice.
So,
Okay. So let's dig into exactly what it is that you do. I know you said you do landscaping. I know you said you did construction, but you mentioned patio and retaining walls. Did you do the retaining walls at Jennifer and Jonathan's house?
we done just some stack stuff.
Okay.
So that retaining wall is poured concrete.
Okay.
So we done a lot of their steps and boulder, and then their walkway.
Okay.
So we do like Belgard products and pavestone retaining walls. We do some 6x6s and stuff like that.
Okay.
About anything retaining wall wise we can do. We do some flagstone patios, fire pits. We do paver patios, walkways. We do the outdoor fire pits. We can do the fireplaces.
Are those popular?
They're getting more popular around here.
Do you think that has something to do with the good economy also, though?
It does, yeah. Yeah, it'll start slowing down, when the economy turns a little bit.
So you're trying to keep as many things, like you said, in your wheelhouse.
I would rather have 500 customers than I would put all my eggs in one basket and have 2 or 3 builders.
Right. Nice. So, did you do more construction before the recession?
We did. Back before, we was into some tract homes and stuff.
Yeah.
So once all that ended, we were one of the lucky few to come through the other side. But we started doing a lot of remodels, and landscaping was scarce. It was here and there. We still had our maintenance stuff, but most of it was remodels on some of the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac properties. So,
Wow. Have you noticed, I know, like I said, my dad's a general contractor, and when I go home, he is officially retired, but he still does odd jobs, and they're all residential. And growing up, he never did residential. He avoided residential like the plague. He was all about commercial. But now he is getting calls and emails because he says there's no one in the industry who can lay brick and block anymore, like small jobs. There's just no one out there.
Nobody out there.
Everyone who was there, the market was like saturated in 2008, and then everyone left and got out of it because they got burned. But now, how do you fix that situation? Now, you don't want to get burned again, but kind of like what you're doing, you're keeping that as an option, but you're also opening other options so that you don't get burned. Let's talk about that.
So we still do, we do custom home installs. Like I said, we stay away from the track side because it's repetition. When we walk away from it, it's nothing really to feel good about.
Yeah.
So when we stay in the custom home side of it, it's something that looks nice. We're using bigger plants. It looks good when you walk away. When you go into, we'll still do some commercial properties. We've got some bigger commercial outfits that we work for, and we'll do 2 or 3 of those a year. So it still keeps us in that side.
Right.
And big jobs, but the smaller jobs, they may cost a little bit more, but we still do those too. We don't not do any job. I mean, we'll go out and look at it, and as long as we can come to an agreement on it, then we'll do small. We may do 2 or 3 small ones in one day. But we do have some pretty big ones that we do.
You prefer residential, though?
I prefer residential over commercial. I like dealing with the people. I like going out, and when we start the job, we get half up front. If it's a $15,000 to $20,000 job, we'll get half up front when we got materials on the job. When we're done and the customer's satisfied, they pay us. Whereas commercial jobs may take us 30, 45 days, sometimes 60 days to get our money. So it makes it a little tough on a small business to wait that long. That's why we don't do a whole lot of it.
Absolutely. But you said you also like to do the maintenance side of things. I know other people in this area don't like the maintenance side of things, so I guess that's where you would pick up on that.
Right. A lot of our maintenance, people have different views on it.
Right.
Our maintenance is our billboard.
Okay.
So we don't make a whole lot on it. It helps with the cash flow. And most of our maintenance customers call us. So the bigger the maintenance side gets, the more install gets.
Nice.
So they already know us. They're used to us. They're used to our atmosphere, and they call on us if they need anything. And most of them that know me, know that I know a lot of other people. So if they need help with their air conditioner, they'll call me. They'll say, "Who can I call for this?" So we enjoy the maintenance side just as much as the other.
That's awesome to have someone too in the business world that's going to send your name out there. Yeah. And I know that's crucial. I have other photographers who, if they can't do an event or a wedding, they'll be like, "Oh, but I know someone who might be available," and they send people my information.
Right.
So that's awesome that you can meet the customer's needs all the way around.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, we are going to transition into a break, and we're going to hear Michael's new vision spot, so y'all listen in. Have Michael Faulkner with New Vision Group in the studio today, and we are talking about landscaping and construction, and most importantly, customer service. Michael loves talking to people and going and meeting people and seeing the satisfaction that he gets of seeing a need, like basically a blank slate, and then you're filling it full. So in a way, you're kind of like an artist. You're a yard artist,
right.
An outdoor artist. So he enjoys meeting people as far as the residential side of things, which is interesting to me, and that's what Rob and I were talking about on the break, is that you think most people just want to, go mow the yard and then call it a day and then show up again a month or 2 or 3 weeks later. But you're saying your favorite part about the job is that, and so you would prefer to go door to door. That's interesting because most people nowadays avoid that face-to-face interaction. We want to talk to a screen or our phone. We're all about the iPhone, and you're not. So obviously that's been a success for you. Let's talk about that.
It has. And that's where my guys come in handy. They communicate with the customer. If the customer's at home, you know, they'll communicate with them. They bring it back to me. I can set up an appointment, go out and meet with them. You know, if it's something extra that they're looking for. Most of them have my cell phone number. If they need me, they'll call me, and we'll go out and look at it. And I want my guys to interact with the customer. I don't care if it's the crew leader or if it's all three guys that are on the maintenance trucks. You know, interact with the customer. They're the ones that's got to feel important, and we want that.
So you train everyone on your crew
Every one of
how
them.
to speak and how to interact.
Yes.
Okay.
We are probably one of the companies around that we have a majority of English speaking guys.
That's wonderful.
About everybody we got can speak English. So if our customer, they don't have to look for different people to
Right, to
talk
fill
to.
that in.
Hey, I can't understand you. So
Right.
they can speak to any one of them, and then the crew relates back to each other. Then they come back and let me know, or they'll call me at that moment and let me know.
Nice.
So that way we're always staying in contact with our customers.
Nice. So let's talk about the people skills, the interpersonal skills. Do you experience online reviews?
We've got some on Facebook.
Okay.
We've got a website. We use it for people to pay their bills and
Nice.
stuff like that. It's a convenience thing for them. But most of our interaction is done on Facebook.
Okay.
We'll post pictures. That way, if people see something they like, they can say, "Well, I like that. You know, can we look at doing something like this?" So that's about most of our interaction on the customer reviews and stuff.
So have you ever had like an awkward situation with a customer face to face and they were able to give you basically a negative review to your face?
Well, there's been one on the maintenance side
Okay.
that you know, there's some people that you just can't really please.
Right.
Um,
We all
That's
encounter
probably
that.
one of the very few out of all the years I've done it that I've walked away from one. Didn't charge them anything for that month, but it was ongoing, and I tried to fix it and tried to fix it, and it was like every month they'd have an issue, and I'd meet with them, and we'd try to get it worked out, and well, I mean, sometimes you got to cut your losses.
Yep.
And that was a maintenance customer. I mean, that was $75 a week. You know,
Wow.
so it become more time consuming than I was making, and it wasn't just me. I'd heard that it was other companies. So
Right.
When,
So-
when you hear that, it's time to walk away.
You have to make that, as tough as a call that is to make, you have to make
Yeah.
that call
Yeah,
because it's just better in the long run.
it is. Mentally, it'll drain you.
Yes.
And it's bad for the employees because, I mean, they're trying to do everything they can do to make them happy. And when you can't make somebody happy, you know, it's time to walk away.
So were they complaining to your guys or were they complaining to you? And then
They would complain to me. I would send them back,
you would send your
and
guys back?
I would go back with them.
Oh my goodness.
So-
That's so much time.
Yeah, so we would go back and forth, and this happened 2 or 3 times, and finally I just told him, you know, I think it'd be better if you just found somebody else.
Right.
You know, we're there. I didn't see anything wrong. The plants had to be absolutely symmetrical, and I don't know. I guess they were going out there with a tape measure, but
Yeah.
they look good, and there's a process. You know, when you're cutting stuff back so hard, you know, you have to work it in a little
Right.
bit.
or you'll kill the plant, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
And they wanted it right then.
I guess the takeaway from that could be there's someone out there who is capable of meeting those needs, and hopefully they'll find them.
That's right. That's right.
But until then, it's not you.
That's right. That being said, as far as install, we haven't had any, customer callbacks unless it's to do another job. They've been 3 years ago we've done stuff for, and they'll call us back and want us to do something else or add to their landscape.
Wow. So has there been like a favorite project that you've done recently that you just want to put out there because you want to do more of that?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of drainage issues around foundations. So there's one in particular we done in Athens, and the guy was going to have an interior drain done, and I went and looked at it. He had a deck on the back of the house that stepped down that was about a foot high. So we fixed everything that wasn't where the deck was. So we got all that done, and it rained. Obviously, it's been raining a lot. So
non-stop.
It rained, so he called me up and said, "Hey, Mike, we got a little water coming from somewhere else." And so I go look at it, and it was coming from under where the little 1 foot deck was. So we had to cut some of it out. We got it fixed, and rained a few more times, and he called me up, and he said, "Mike," he said, "I think we got it." So we got that done. Then he wanted to know if it'd be better to build a deck or to install some pavers. And so ended up we installed some pavers because we didn't want anything that would trap any water.
Right.
So we built the pavers, had step downs, and then made sure all the water still flowed away from the house.
Nice.
And I run into him I think 2 weeks ago in Athens, and I was walking out from getting me some lunch, and he flagged me down, and he said, "Mike," he said, "you know what? We ain't had no water coming in our basement ever since we got done." So, I mean, that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So,
And with all this rain, I'm sure everyone, especially if you have a basement, has been experiencing a lot of frustration.
basement, a lot of crawl spaces around Athens and stuff. We do a lot around Athens with crawl spaces.
So is your primary focus there to reroute the water and then deal with the damage?
Yeah, well, once we fix something like that, most of the time people are going to call us back for their landscape.
Okay.
So once
so that
we
it doesn't happen again.
right.
Okay.
So a lot of times they'll go through this big long process. So you got to do this and this, and we have had to put interior drains that we couldn't stop, but we have done interior drains and got it right back out from under the house, and then I'd say maybe 85% I can get from the outside most of the time, and I've had some that we've had to go under the house where they didn't want to mess up too much of their landscaping, or they didn't want to cut out and put a retaining wall, so we had to let the water go under and take it right back out the other side.
Wow.
So
What a mess.
yeah.
So what is your average? Well, I know it's kind of slow right now as far as the off season goes, and because of the rain. So what is your average work week like? I guess January to March.
Probably January to March. I still try to get my guys somewhere around 30 hours to 35 hours.
So is that when you're doing like the odd jobs, like the side projects?
Well, we've got repetition stuff like pine straw, mulch, and
Nice.
stuff that has to go out, and then I've got a little mobile home park that we work on, just to give them some hours, especially on these rainy weeks where
Right.
it's rained 4 or 5 days. We can't go out and do any grading, so we're still hitting about 30, 35 hours. Now, probably sometime this month, all that's going to change if it'll ever stop raining.
Right.
So,
big kicker there.
right. So we'll probably be hitting somewhere around 60, 70 hours.
Okay. Nice.
So
So when that happens, I'm assuming like the family aspect of life kind of revolves around the summertime. I'm assuming y'all don't do much then. Your primary like vacation time and family time is in the off season.
normally we do. I think last year was the first year I went on vacation in the summer.
Nice.
The guys pretty much said, "Hey, go. Just we got it. You know, if we need you, we'll call you."
Were you freaking out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time. So,
My husband would have had a heart attack.
oh yeah. So we actually went on a summer vacation last year.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, Dylan and Wendy enjoyed it. So.
And that also speaks to your crew that they were able to hold down the fort while you were gone.
Yeah, they done awesome.
Sounds like you have a great crew.
I do.
So how many guys are in your crew?
I've got 15 guys
Okay.
right now. We'll probably end up hiring about 3 or 4 more.
Okay.
We run 3 maintenance crews and run 2 install.
Oh, wow.
So,
Very cool.
and all that revolves around me. That's why it's very important that my guys take care of what they need to during the day. They know that I'm on the road. They don't know which job I'm stopping by and checking out, so they don't want me to stop by and check on one of their jobs and it not be right. So
Right.
they pay extra attention to it.
And it sounds like you've reinforced that, even though I'm not there, you're representing me. And
Exactly.
New Vision Group is my baby, so you're
right.
representing that.
Yep.
So that's awesome. We are going to transition into another commercial break. And when we get back, we are going to talk about the Heritage Tree Council and the Keep Jackson County Beautiful that you're involved with. And you said there's some events coming up. So we will be back after this quick commercial break. And we are back with the Hometown Business Review with Katie Griffin. I interview a different business owner weekly, and today I have Michael Faulkner in studio. He is the owner of New Vision Group. He does landscaping, he does construction, he basically does it all. And it's all under the umbrella of New Vision Group. So if you're interested in any residential work or maintenance, give Michael a call. Michael, you said that you were the chairman of the Keep Jackson County Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
And you volunteer with the Heritage Tree Council.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, so the Heritage Tree Council, we got the Foliage Fest coming up March 21st. It'll be from 10 to 4. Walter Reeves will be there. A lot of people like coming and talking to Walter and getting his insight on plants and things that'll grow in different places. So he's normally there, I think, from 11 to about 12, 1 o'clock. He'll walk around to different booths. There'll be food, entertainment. They'll have dancers and stuff like that. A lot of handcrafts, artwork type stuff, and then a lot of people will pre-order trees, and that way we can encourage people to plant trees. So they'll pick up their trees on that day.
Cool. And where is that at?
And that'll be at the clubhouse, Jefferson City Clubhouse.
Okay.
So,
Nice. And that's right behind the football field in Jefferson,
yes, ma'am.
by the park where the pond is?
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. And that was March 21st, you said?
That one's March the 21st.
Okay.
All right. And then April the 18th, we got the recycling event for Keep Jackson County Beautiful. And that'll be over at the Hendricks Drive, right beside where they're building the new ag building
Okay.
there. So we'll take computers, monitors, printers. We've got document shredding. Normally it's a limit of 2 boxes. 5 gallons of paint is free.
Wow.
Anything after that is $2 a gallon. Fluorescent bulbs, We're taking tires. There's 6 for free. Any additional will be $4 per tire after that. 7 on car tires, and then $7 a truck tire. We'll take oil, cardboard, all sorts of things, and obviously we take donations because a lot of this stuff comes from us raising money throughout the year. So
Okay.
we pay for some of the things that it don't cover, like the paint. We still have to pay for the 5 gallons that we give for free. That's kind of why we ask for, the $2 after that
To help cover that cost.
to help cover some of it. Yes,
And this is perfect timing because people are spring cleaning. They're getting rid of all that junk that's accumulated in the past year.
It keeps it out of our waterways and
Okay.
out of off the side of the road and stuff like that. So that's the purpose of it. We want to keep our streets clean and roadways clean. So
What else does Keep Jackson County Beautiful do?
we do we coincide with some rivers alive, and we do
Okay.
some cleanup there. We've most of the time this is the biggest event, but we're working on some other things for the future.
Cool. So you said April 21st.
April the 18th.
April the 18th. I'm sorry.
Right. Yep.
The other event was the 21st.
That's right.
April 18th. That's a Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay.
And this one will be from starts at 8 and ends at 12.
8 to 12.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
is Keep Jackson County Beautiful, is that a Facebook page that we can look up?
There is a Facebook page of Keep Jackson County Beautiful,
Okay.
so you can look all that up. It'll tell you all our events that we have going on, and pretty much explain this one as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So how can we get in touch with you, Michael?
You can reach me at my cell phone, 678-858-7093, or you can email me at newvisiongroup39gmail.com, or you can look us up on our Facebook page and at New Vision Group LLC, and I respond to messages on there as well.
And do you encourage that for photos? You said you posted photos?
Yeah, I encourage you to go on there and like our page. You'll see new projects that we're doing and some issues that we worked out for other customers.
So some behind the scenes stuff too.
Yes, ma'am.
Very cool. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for being on the show. We are out of time, so we are going to be back in the studio next Wednesday. I am excited. Hold on, let me pull up my calendar and I'll tell you who I have. Give me just a minute. All right, I have Nikki Tobias with Habitat for Humanity in here. She is the new director, and she's going to basically talk about all the new things she has going on for Habitat. Thank you, Michael, for your time.
Thank you.
And like he said, y'all go like his Facebook page. It's New Vision Group LLC. And until next week, thank you for listening.